I realize you probably like to walk through the walls together. Well, that's fine, but let's get to that level gradually. To do otherwise would shock you and things would seem unreal. You could accomplish or learn anything if you approach it one step at a time. Whoa, whoa, boy. The horse came to a halt halfway back to the stable. We climbed down and Talawanda strapped the empty picnic basket onto the saddle. Talawanda patted Patron and said, "Well, we'll take it from here. You go on home and play." Immediately the horse broke into a sprint, leaving nothing in sight but a trail of dust. Talawanda took my hand and escorted me off to the side of the trail. He led me to a field of soft grass, and we sat there in silence, searching each other's eyes. The more I looked at him, the more alive I felt. My vision became sharp and clear. The sounds of birds and a distant stream seemed remarkably close. Colors appeared brighter, and suddenly I felt like I was floating 5 feet in back of my body. It was like the strangest, most tranquil feeling I've ever remembered. I felt distance between myself and my body. It was very peaceful sensation, like the feeling I get from a little too much wine, but it's different, much, much better. Everything was clear, my thinking was sharp, my perceptions were better than ever. I felt really big. I could almost feel what was on his mind. I felt like he really cared about me, but I could see that he was in a different league. I got the feeling he was 10 miles tall, looking down at me through the eyes of the body. Then he broke the silence, saying, "I guess it's time you should know how I feel about you and explain why I'd do anything for you." I'd been deeply relaxed, but when he said that, my heart began to pound. I wanted to say something, but even if I could have thought of words to say, they would have stuck in my throat. Then he softly said, "The best way I can explain is to ask you, close your eyes and turn back to those forgotten chapters in history. Long, long ago, before you were chained down by human restrictions, you were free. You had always known the taste of freedom. You were eternally happy. There was a companion in your life, someone who admired your illusions, a friend who thought as you thought, a playmate you could chase throughout the heavens or dance with inside a burning sun. You knew of love and undying friendship. You had a compassion and a companion who was loyal and worthy of trust. This companion whose love and integrity could not be eroded by the passage of time. You had a companion who solemnly pledged not to interfere as you explored the games offered in the physical universe. A companion who knew better than to enter such game but promised to wait for you until you returned. You have a companion who will always be loyal, but he misses you, and he's lonely, and he's still waiting. I opened my eyes and discovered that the beautiful sadness had brought tears to both of us, and not a word was spoken. The mystery was exposed. My thirst for answers had finally been quenched. Talawani took my hand in his hand and stood there with a seriousness of purpose I had not seen in him before. He paused for a long time as the surrounding environment became strangely quiet. He looked at me with a sad but hopeful expression and said, "My darling, the time has come. You must return to the physical universe now. Eons ago, I gave you my pledge that I would not disturb you and your activities in the physical universe. I am honorable, but please forgive me for this one violation of my promise. I shall not disturb you again. If I have touched your heart with enough love and inspiration, you shall be able to find your way back to me. You'll have to do it on your own. That's the only way we can reunite for eternity. There are those on earth who speak as I speak. If you seek them out, they can help you restore enough with your powers so that you can find your way back. No matter what happens, I shall always love you, and I'll wait for you forever. As he finished his message, I could see his eyes fill with tears. Suddenly his body and the surrounding scenery began to fade. It faded out until it was completely gone. "Talawanda! Talawanda!" I cried out, horrified by the sudden loss. In the distance and darkness, I could hear bells. They became louder and louder until suddenly I woke up, dazed and amazed. Those bells were my alarm clock. I looked around in shock, only to find myself in my bedroom. My bedroom was in my apartment in Hollywood, California, USA, Earth, physical universe. Oh, this couldn't be happening. I looked over at the calendar on my nightstand and it read Saturday, July 27, 1978. That's the morning after I first saw Talawanda's performance at the Magic Castle. I felt tears coming on as I frantically grabbed the telephone to call the operator and confirm the date. "Operator, what's today's date?" I asked in a panic. "Saturday, July 22nd, the operator said. My eyes were full of tears as I hung up the telephone. All a dream, I said to myself. All just a dream. Rio, the romance, the sights, the sounds, all the glorious adventure, all the miracles. Just a dream that never occurred? Just an illusion that doesn't exist? I headed to the bathroom to get a Kleenex to wipe the tears from my face. And suddenly the doorbell rang. I threw on a robe and slippers and ran to the living room. Without opening the front door, I said, "Who is it?" "Delivery for Alana Taylor," a young man replied. Delivery, I wondered. I opened the door just wide enough to receive the package so that the delivery man wouldn't see the mascara smeared around my eyes. It was a box of long-stem red roses. I closed the door, then tore open the attached envelope and read the message. "My dear Alana, if it can be experienced, it exists. You cannot experiencing something which doesn't exist. If you absorb even half of what I taught you, then a miracle has occurred. Forever, Talawanda." Epilogue. Far too often has Talawanda been disappointed in his desire to better the conditions of the world. There will be no more crusades, no more flashy campaigns. He owes his time to no one. Talawanda's teachings will not penetrate every heart. If this book has not inspired you, just disregard it. On the other hand, the only road to freedom is through wisdom and study. If you find that his teachings have enriched your life, and you would like the lessons to continue, then pass this on.